The Work You Do, The Person You Are by Toni Morrison. The pleasure of being necessary to my parents was profound. I was not like the children in folk tales, burdensome mouths to feed. All I had to do for the $2 was clean her house for a few hours after school. It was a beautiful house, too, with a plastic covered sofa and chairs, wall to wall blue and white carpeting, a white enamel stove, a washing machine, and a dryer. Things that were common in her neighborhood, absent in mine. In the middle of the war, she had butter, sugar, steaks, and seam up the back stockings. I knew how to scrub floors on my knees and how to wash clothes in our zinc tub, but I had never seen a Hoover vacuum cleaner or an iron that wasn't heated by fire. Part of my pride in working for her was earning money I could squander on movies, candies, paddle balls, jacks, ice cream cones. But a large part of my pride was based on the fact that I gave half my wages to my mother, which meant that some of my earnings were used for real things, an insurance policy payment, or what was owed to the milkman or the iceman. The pleasure of being necessary to my parents was profound. I was not like the children in folk tales, burdensome mouths to feed, nuisances to be corrected, problems so severe that they were abandoned to the forest. I had a status that doing routine chores in my house did not provide, and it earned me a slow smile and approving nod from an adult. Confirmations that I was adult-like, not childlike. In those days, the 40s, children were not just loved or liked, they were needed. They could earn money. They could care for children younger than themselves. They could work the farm, take care of the herd, run errands, and much more. I suspect that children aren't needed in that way now. They are loved, doted on, protected, and helped. Fine, and yet, little by little, I got better at cleaning her house good enough to be given more to do, much more. I was ordered to carry bookcases upstairs and once to move a piano from one side of a room to the other. I fell carrying the bookcases, and after pushing the piano, my arms and legs hurt so badly. I wanted to refuse, or at least to complain, but I was afraid she would fire me, and I would lose the freedom the dollar gave me, as well as the standing I had at home. Although both were slowly being eroded, she began to offer me her clothes for a price. Impressed by those worn things, which looked simply gorgeous to a little girl who had only two dresses to wear to school, I bought a few, until my mother asked me if I really wanted to work for cast-offs. So I learned to say no thank you to a faded sweater offered for a quarter of a week's pay. Still, I had trouble summoning the courage to discuss or object to the increasing demands she made. And I knew that if I told my mother how unhappy I was, she would tell me to quit. Then one day, alone in the kitchen with my father, I let drop a few whines about the job. He gave me details, examples of what troubled me, yet although he listened intently, I saw no sympathy in his eyes. No, oh, you poor little thing. Perhaps he understood what I wanted was a solution to the job, not an escape from it. In any case, he put down his cup of coffee and said, listen, you don't live there. You live here with your people. Go to work, get your money, and come on home. That is what he said. And that is what I heard. This is what I heard. Whatever the work is, do it well. Not for the bosses, but for yourself. You make the job, it doesn't make you. Your real life is with us, your family. You are not the work you do. You are the person you are. I have worked for all sorts of people since then. Geniuses and morons, quick-witted and dull, big-hearted and narrowed. I had many kinds of jobs, but since that conversation with my father, I have never considered the level of labor to be the measure of myself, and I have never placed the security of a job above the value of home.